Hey, Ben here, back out of the sawmill. Today I'm out here just kind of getting started for the day. I'm looking around. I've got a lot of logs cleaned up that I started with about a month ago. I had over 100 logs here. I think I'm down to under 40 now. But let me just give you a little bit of a walk around here and talk about a couple things. I have a pile of slab wood here by the sawmill again. And this is just from the last couple of logs I've cut up. This is actually all walnut, with the exception of one cherry log. So I have a pile of walnut slabs there. And then over here, I have a pile of every kind of hardwood you could think of. White oak, red oak, walnut, cherry, a little bit of everything in this pile here. And the pile is getting to be a little out of control. That pile is probably about 6 foot high and at least 12 foot wide. There's some ash in there too. Forgot to mention ash, of course. But that is a pile of slab wood. To be honest with you, I'm not really looking forward to taking a day and cutting that all up and stacking it. A little question I'll pose to you guys, since a lot of you do similar jobs, similar work. I've got a few different options I could do with this stuff. Option one is cut it and stack it. Take and keep on going, stacking it up on skids, and then try to sell it. That's probably right now the option I'm leaning towards. Option two is post it on Craigslist just the way it is. Post it. I know there's at least one guy that'll come get this stuff. I'm not going to get the money out of it that I would get out of it if I cut it and stacked it. And it's all green stuff, so most people want seasoned wood that's been sitting for a year. This stuff hasn't been, it's just been out here for a couple months. And my final option is load it up and burn it myself. Just take and grab it with the grapple, take it out into a pile, and just light the whole pile on fire and just get rid of it just because I'm sick of looking at it. That would be the least labor intensive option of the bunch. But I figured I'd ask you guys, see what you guys all do with your slab wood. I know a lot of people that watch my videos have sawmills. Maybe don't do quite as much at one time, but you know, I'm sure you guys have had slabs laying around that you're not sure what you're going to do with them, and I'm sure everybody has a little bit of a different answer for this. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Give me something, a little bit of feedback. Now back to the logs. Where are we at with the logs? Well, I've got cherry logs here. I haven't counted these, but I think there's roughly 10 logs there, maybe a little more, a little less. So I've got, say, 10 cherry logs. Birch, I've never cut birch before, and this might not even be birch, but I'm pretty sure birch is the right word for it. There's different types of birch trees. There's white birch and all kinds of other ones. I don't have all the species of logs figured out yet, but I can tell you that I'm calling these birch. So there's 5 of them there. They're not real big diameter, but they're a type of wood I've never cut, never had before. So I figure, you know what, I'll cut them and see what they turn out to be. See if they're any good. And then I've got all these ash logs here, which is roughly 10 ash logs. A little more, a little less. Okay. So there's 25 logs there. These logs in the background here, that is a small oak log there. That one there is actually an apple tree. I just wanted to cut that just to see what the apple wood would look like. This one here is a twisted cherry log that I wasn't even going to cut, and to be honest with you, I'm not even sure I'm going to cut it yet because it's so twisted. And then these two here are actually left over from a pile I was going to go for firewood. That one there is a maple log. And that one actually makes some decent lumber. It's just a little short. And this one is locust. It's a little on the small side, and it gets narrower down on that end. But they're just kind of leftovers that I have laying around in here in this pile. The deal is, the logs that I picked up a while back, if you watch my videos, there's one I did stocking up the sawmill. I went and a friend of my brother's had his land logged off. Had about 88 logs I hauled from his property back to mine here. So out of those 88 logs, I have about 25 left. That's it. These ash, those birch, and those cherry. Once I get those all cut up, I'm going to split the lumber with the owner of the property that gave me the logs. So half the lumber will go to him and half the lumber will stay with me. So I'm looking to try to get that done here before any more snow flies and before it gets any colder out here. When I'm done with that, those couple logs in the back there that I showed you, that apple and the cherry, the maple, those are mine. And to be honest with you, those are just kind of junk logs that I got left over. I will probably cut those, but I'm not in that big of a hurry to cut those. This pile of logs I have out here are all mine. These are logs that I've gotten from either Craigslist or from other properties that I cut the trees off of. The end here is all cherry. You saw me cut these trees down. That one big one there in the middle is going to be a nice log to cut. This one here is cherry that I cut from the same property about a month before that. And I just haven't gotten a chance to cut it. The one on the bottom was given to me. That was an oak log that had been down for not sure how long. And that one might be a little, that's probably the oldest log I have laying here. I have to cut into that and see what the wood actually looks like. A couple of these cherry logs are a little rotten. That one there, I might just cut up for firewood because it's so rotten in the end. And there's a couple other cherry logs in there. Down underneath, there's 2 or 3 more cherry, and then some locust down there at the bottom. And then there's a couple of oak mixed in here, down on the end here. And these logs here that are kind of strewn about down here on the end, of course, are all the walnut logs from the trees that I've cut lately. So I've got a handful of walnut, a handful of cherry, and a handful of oak that are mine that I need to get cut up yet. And then I have out here, this is just a pile of pine. I really want to build a kiln, and I would like to take and cut these logs down and make a kiln out of them. That might be a good spring project. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to that before it gets too cold and too much snow out here. I plan on cutting all winter long, even with the snow and everything, but I think it's going to dramatically cut down my production when I get a foot of snow on the ground. It'll be more shoveling snow and moving things around than it will be to cut logs. But if we have a winter like last year, we only had 2 snowstorms last year, 2 decent ones, so maybe we won't get much snow again this year, and maybe I'll be cutting just through the winter no problem. Now, I'll show you the lumber stacks in another video, but today I want to talk a little bit about firewood. Now, this firewood over here, this is what I've been doing with most of the firewood. I've been cutting it and stacking it. And these piles have been kind of picked over. All these were pretty high at one point, but as we have little fires out here, we've been, you know, taking and picking off one pile or the other. Everybody just kind of picks their own pile and starts picking off of it. But this is a good way to burn a pine, is out here in the backyard. This is all pine. And then this was actually some stuff that was here previous to my sawmill. That's how long this stuff has been sitting out here. And there was a couple different piles of firewood here that we've gone through. And this is the same stuff. This is actually a tree my brother cut down and split up for firewood out here. And the same thing with this one. You can see it all split wood. Now this one here is all maple. Been picking this one over. This one has probably been here quite a while as well. And then this one here is a mixture of pine, and there is some ash in there too. But that's what the slab wood looks like when it's all cut and stacked. And if I cut it and stack it like that, and I make it 4 foot wide and 4 foot high, and you know, the pallet's about 4 foot square, so if I go 4 high, 4 wide, and 4 foot in every direction, that's half a cord. So if I stack them like that and put them on Craigslist and say, okay, there's a half a cord of firewood, you know, come and get it, I could probably get better money out of it than I could if I just take a picture of the slab wood. And here I've got another pallet where I just started this one. This one was the one I was cutting in the rain. First one I cut with the buck saw. I haven't gotten a chance to cut any more with it since. So that's where I'm at. I've got firewood here, and I've got firewood there. The question is, do I go through the trouble of cutting and stacking all that? Or do I just list it the way it is? Or do I just light a match and burn a pile of wood and call it a day? Let me know what you think. that about does it for today's video. I just wanted to take and show you guys a quick walkthrough of all the slab wood I've got laying around and some of the logs I have here in the yard. So hope you guys enjoy the video. And if you have any suggestions on the firewood ideas, what you'd recommend doing with it, I'm all ears. Put in the comments below. I'll be sure to get back with you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.